How to approach beautiful women. My top 10 most asked infield questions revealed. That is the topic of tonight's coaching video. And I'm going to do you one better. Not only am I going to give you my top 10 most asked infield questions that I get from targets, but I'm also going to give you the answers as well. Hey, this is M from the 33 Secrets. I'm out here at Universal Studios City Walk tonight in Hollywood. It's pretty close to my house, so I'm out here shooting some coaching videos for you. And thought I would go ahead and give away one of my best, most highest value clips from my monthly coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery. And again, this is the top 10 most asked infield questions that you are going to get from targets, from girls that you approach, okay? These questions, the funny thing is, they have not changed in over 2 decades that I've been in the game. It's the same questions I've been getting when I first started in the game back in the mid-90s. I still get the same questions. Back then I was getting them from Generation X and Generation Y. Now, I don't know what the generation is now, but I'm getting them from the newer 20-something hot girls that I'm approaching in field. So, not only are you going to get the questions, but I'm also going to give you my best answers for these questions, so you have that automatic response anytime that one of these girls tries to throw you a curveball, tries to throw you a shit test. You'll have that automatic response where she'll be like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. You'll be like, I know. If you're not yet in my monthly coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, then you want to get in there like right now. I know I pitch this every video I upload, but it's very, very critical that I do, guys, because it keeps my channel flowing. It keeps my channel financially stable, right? Where I'm able to take care of my staff. I'm able to pay my customer support guy, Jay, for you guys who deal with Jay. Shout out to Jay. Jay's been with me for a long time now. What's up, Jay? So he handles all my customer support. So when you guys jump in my program, 7 Months to Mastery, you're not only helping yourself, but you're helping support my work, you're helping support my staff, and you're helping keep Jay employed. So if you've not yet jumped into Mastery, all you need to do is click that link below in my description box, take you right over to my website. You can get signed up right now. It takes 2 seconds, and right now it's only $1, okay? It's only $1. So let's just jump right into tonight's coaching video. How to approach beautiful women, top 10 most asked infield questions revealed with the actual answers. Let's get started. So right now I want to go through the top 10 most asked infield questions that you are going to get when you are out there doing your approaches. And these top 10 most asked infield questions are questions that I've been getting over the last 2 decades. These are the most commonly asked questions that your targets are going to ask you. And the funny thing is, when I first started out over 2 decades ago now, these questions are still the same exact questions that I get from my targets this very day, present day, while I'm out there doing game, when I'm out there doing my own approaches, I still get the same questions. So the questions haven't changed. I'm going to read them off of this booklet here. I actually used to use this booklet for boot camps, and I had this created for my students back then just to make things easier. And what I'm going to do is I'm not only going to give you the most commonly asked questions that you're going to get in field, but I'm going to go a step further, and I'm also going to give you the answers to those questions just to make life a lot easier for you. And the answer to these questions, trust me, they work, okay? If you do them right, you say them with congruence, and you're vibing with a girl, they will work. Just trust me when I give them to you. They've already been field tested. They've been field tested over 2 decades now. So trust me when I say they do work. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to give you the questions in order that you are going to get them in field, okay? So the very first, most commonly asked question you're going to get is, very, very obviously, what's your name? Okay? It's probably going to be the most asked question that you're going to get from your targets. What's your name? Now, when she asks you what your name is, you want to play around with her a little bit. all right? Now, obviously, let me just back up a step. When you approach her, 9 out of 10 times, you're gonna ask what her name is first. Okay, now sometimes personally for me, when I approach a girl, I kind of get lost in the approach and I kind of forget about it because I'm vibing with her so much. I forget to actually introduce myself. You know, she'll stop and say, what's your name? Either way, somewhere during your approach, the girl is gonna ask you what your name is, whether you ask her first or not. If your approach is going well and you're vibing with her and things are escalating, she is going to ask you what your name is at some point. And when she does ask you for what your name is, you kind of want to play with her a little bit. Don't be like most guys who are super boring and be like, yeah, my name's Bill. What's yours? You know, don't do that, all right? When she asks you what your name is, mess around with her a little bit. You could say something like, what do you want it to be? What I like to use a lot is just by default. When a girl asks me what my name is, I kind of joke around and I'll give her an over-the-top name. I'll say Cornelius. You might have heard me say that in some of my Infield videos. I'll be like, my name's Cornelius. I go by Corny for short. You know, most of the time the girl will know that you're just kidding. All right, so don't take yourself too seriously. Like, no, she needs to know my name is Bill, man. That's not cool. I don't want her thinking my name is Cornelius. Again, you just want to have fun with her. So I'll say Cornelius, it's Corny for short. I might say Bartholomew or Eugene. You know, and other times I'll say my name's Thornton, but they call me Thor for short. So you just want to have fun with her. That's the whole point of this. And obviously, after teasing her for a little bit, you can go ahead and tell her what your real name is. So when your target asks you what your name is, don't just be another boring chump approaching her. Have a little fun with her. Don't take yourself so seriously and be playful. Use any of these fun names that I gave you. Cornelius, Eugene, Thornton, Bartholomew. Just have fun with her. Don't take yourself so seriously. And obviously if things are escalating and she's getting more and more into you and she's like, no, what is your name? And then you could tell her like, okay, my name is Bill or my name's Matt or whatever your name is. You don't need to use my name unless your name is Matt. Okay, moving on. The second most frequently asked question you're gonna get is, where are you from? So your target's gonna be like, hey, where are you from? And when a target asks me this, I just tell her. So I don't really play around, especially if I already teased her about my name. I'm not gonna keep teasing her like, oh, I'm from the moon, or oh, I'm from Mars, you know, because at that point, if you kind of keep pushing it, the girl will start to just think you're a clown and she won't take you seriously, which is not what you want. So you kind of want that balance between being playful, yet being able to hold a serious conversation with her. So she doesn't want to just think that you're just this clown that she can't take serious and everything that comes out of your mouth is not going to be truthful. So when the girl asks me, hey, where are you from? I'm just like, I'm from San Francisco, just moved here to LA. The third most frequently asked question you're going to get is, who are you here with? Okay, the girl will almost always ask you this, especially if you're in a venue and it's at night. Guaranteed she's going to ask you, where are your friends? Who are you here with? You know, a lot of times when I'm gaming solo, you might be gaming solo yourself. I'll just be like, oh, I'm supposed to meet some friends here later. Or I might tell a girl, oh, my friends were just here. I was with this big group. They just left. And I needed to go to the bathroom. I was going to have one more drink before I headed home. But then I saw you. So it makes perfect sense, right? Why you're there by yourself. Now, if you are there with your wingman or another guy that you're gaming with, then obviously you want to be like, oh, I'm here with my buddy. He's a good friend of mine. Or if he's a software engineer, like one of my wingmen, Christoph, he was a software engineer. She'd be like, oh, you know, who's this? And I would say, oh, this is my buddy Christoph. He is one of the best software engineers in the country. Show him respect, right? So you always want to pump up who you're there with. We call that, in the pickup community, we used to call those accomplishment intros, AIs for short. Right, you always want to give your wingman a solid accomplishment intro and build him up, because you want your target to know that you only hang around other high value males. Unlike most guys, right? Most guys who are chumps, what do? Like when they're gaming a target and the target's like, oh, introduce me to your friend. It's like, oh, he's stupid. Oh, he's an idiot. You don't want to meet him. He's a dumbass. I don't know why I hang out with him. You know, and they think they're being cool, but really you're killing your value when you do that. And I see so many guys do that. It just blows me away. I'm like, why does he put down his buddy? This girl is genuinely interested in him, and he's killing his own value because he's insecure about his friend. I'm never going to put down anybody in my social circle, and neither should you. Right? So that's the third question you're going to get, is who are you here with? Now the fourth question you're going to get, almost guaranteed, is the girl is going to ask you how old you are. Okay? No matter if you're older than her or younger than her, she's always going to, for some reason, they just ask you this question. They want to know. When I first started gaming in my late teens, girls who were much older would always ask, like, well, how old are you? Like, you look kind of young. And now that I'm much older, I've got girls in their late teens that I'm gaming going, how old are you? You're not older than my dad, are you? You know, so the girls are always going to ask, like, how old are you? And here, I always like to go back to my playful nature and have fun with them. And so when she asks, like, how old are you? I'll say, guess. So when your target asks you how old you are, don't just tell her, I'm 26. No, say, guess. Make her work for it. And then she'll be like, I don't know, you look kind of young. Are you 24? And you'd be like, no. Right? You just want to tease her. You just want to play with her and have fun. When it comes to these top 10 most frequently asked questions, about half of them, you're just going to be playful with her. You're not going to take yourself too seriously. While the other half, you're just going to go ahead and answer her directly, just to have that balance, like I said, between being playful and then also being able to be serious. Because a lot of guys, they're either too serious or they're too playful, right? Guys are like too much of a clown or take themselves way too seriously. They don't have that middle ground. And really, the sweet spot for attracting young, hot girls is really in the middle there, having the balance between being playful, yet being able to be serious when you need to. All right, so that's the fourth question you're going to get most often is, how old are you? And again, the very simple answer to that is guess. Make her guess, make her work for it. Let her guess like maybe 1 or 2 times before you finally tell her. Sometimes I'll just let the girl stay in mystery and I won't tell her. Just depends on what kind of vibe we have going. Now the fifth question you're going to get from your targets, especially if you're in Los Angeles like I am, these girls are almost always going to ask you, what do you do for a living? What do you do for work? And here, I just can't help myself. I have to play with a girl. I have to have fun with her. So when the girl asks, what do you do for work? And the reason, by the way, that I want to have fun with her when she asks this question is because I know so many guys use this as the opportunity to brag, right? They brag. This is like the golden question they've been waiting for all night. They can't wait to tell her what they do for work. Like, that's right, I'm a stockbroker. That's right, I'm a lawyer. That's right, I'm a doctor. Bitch, you know, a lot of times they're lying, right? A lot of times they're not telling the truth, but still, even then, they're taking themselves way too seriously when they tell the girl. Even when they're lying, they're taking themselves way too seriously, even when they're lying. Can you believe that? So when the girl asks, what do you do for work? What do you want to answer her? What I like to do? Tell her I rob banks, bank robber. Or I repair disposable cameras. Or I deliver pizzas, I'm a pizza boy. Or I run a lemonade stand. Or I'm a paper boy. I deliver newspapers in the morning. You know that guy, that kid on the bicycle that throws them out, hits your door? That's me. Or, one of my favorites, I'm a secret agent. I'm CIA. After you give her 2 false responses, generally by then, she's kind of had her laugh, you've had your laugh, the fun's over. If she asks you the 3rd time, you got to tell her, okay? Because if you keep it up, again, you're crossing the line between, you know, having that nice balance, being in that sweet spot. Now you're moving too much to funny man, too much to the clown that girls aren't going to take serious. So generally I'll play with her 1 or 2 times, and then by the 3rd time, I will just tell her what I do. You know, I really won't get too much into it just because I'm also trying to stay away from that side where I'm taking myself too seriously. Because most girls, especially hot girls, they know that this is the golden question that guys just can't wait to brag about, that they can't wait to lie about what they do. So me knowing that instinctively, I want to stay away from that. I always want to stay away from what other guys are doing just because I want to separate myself from all those other guys, which is obviously what you want to do, right? You want to separate yourself from all those other guys, and you don't want to look anything like them. So this is a question that most guys will use as the opportunity to brag about themselves, where you're going to be that one guy who doesn't take yourself seriously, and you're going to be able to joke about it. And, you know, there are going to be times too where you joke about it and the girl really never gets to what you actually do for a living. She never really asks. You know, that happens a lot of times too. And I don't bother to bring it up later like, oh, by the way, you know, after I get her number, by the way, I'm a lawyer. I was just kidding about that pizza boy stuff. I just want to tell you, I'm a lawyer. You know, I don't bring it up later. I let her find out about it naturally, right? When I used to work for a Fortune 100 company in San Francisco in the financial district, I mean, I had a great job. I wanted to brag about that job. I wanted to tell girls, and I didn't, okay? I didn't. And just naturally and organically, they would find out after, you know, generally by the first date, they would realize, oh, wait, this guy told me he was a pizza boy. He's got a friggin' top-down Mercedes, you know? He's working in the financial district. And generally, very quickly, the girl would realize, like, wow, this guy is friggin' badass. He has a great job, didn't need to brag about it. I just kind of let my lifestyle speak for itself. So back then, I don't have the Mercedes anymore, but back then when I had it, you know, again, these were things that I never bragged about to the girl when I first met her. I was never like trying to pull her outside of the club, like, see that silver top-down Benz? That's mine, girl. That could be you riding in there. I never did any of that stuff because it's tacky, it's cheesy, right? It doesn't work. So I would always let my game speak for itself, get the girl out on a date. And once she came out on a date with me and would meet up, you know, I'd either pick her up or we'd meet at the bar and I'd end up driving her home. She would ride in the car and she'd see kind of like the lifestyle. I'd bring her over to my place. I had a sweet ass pad. So they were always like, whoa, blown away by that. But the thing that made it even better and more valuable was the fact that I never bragged about these things. And the girl just was able to find out about them naturally and organically. It's almost like watching a movie and just seeing this whole thing unfold, right? Imagine going to see your favorite movie that you've been waiting to come out, and then, you know, some dickhead in line tells you the complete story and spoils the ending for you, right? That's kind of what bragging does. It kind of spoils it for the girl, like, okay, I already know what this guy's about. Okay, next. Where with women, they almost want to view their lives and experience you like a movie where they just want things to unfold. So that's what you want to do. You want things to unfold. And obviously with movies, the movies that are most entertaining are movies that have comedy in them, whether they're, you know, serious dramas or whatnot. It always makes a movie much better when there's just sprinkles of comedy in it, which is what you want your approaches to be like, okay? You don't want it to be all like full jackass comedy where you can't take any of it seriously, but just, you know, sprinkle some comedy in there, some comedic moments to make the girl laugh, keep it playful, keep it fun, yet, you know, again, ride that balance of knowing when to be serious. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the 6 most frequently asked question that you're gonna get in Field. This might not be that common these days, but back in the old pickup days, everybody was peacocking. You might see some of my old photos that I have on my YouTube or on my Facebook, where I had the earrings going and I had all the rings going and all that stuff. And sometimes I still do that stuff when I feel like it. I still peacock sometimes. And the girl will generally ask, like, hey, you wear a lot of jewelry. Even if you just wear like a couple of earrings, sometimes a girl like, you wear a lot of jewelry. And when a girl asks you that, by the way, even though she says it in a very kind of demeaning way, really she's shit testing you. She's throwing out a shit test for you to pass because she's actually attracted to you and she wants to see if you're the guy that you're presenting yourself to be, that badass guy that's wearing this jewelry and these rings. She wants to know that, hey, are you for real or are you just putting up this front? Because if you are for real, then I would like to go further with you. That's basically what she's saying when she's like, hey man, you wear a lot of jewelry. So when she asks like, hey, you wear a lot of jewelry, I'll just say, yeah, compared to who? Your ex-boyfriend? You know, again, I'll kind of tease her back with it a little bit. I'll play with her a little bit, but I'll never
ever be like, oh, what do you mean I wear a lot of jewelry? It's too much? How much is too much? You know, or I just felt like wearing jewelry tonight, you know, and start making excuses for myself. I'll be like, no, wearing jewelry? What's a big deal? It's the present year. What year are you living in? You know, so I'll kind of throw it back at her, make her question her own questions, right? So it's just a shit test when she asks you like, hey, you wear a lot of jewelry, or hey, what's up with that shirt? You know, a lot of times girls will ask you that as well. Or, oh, I don't like your watch, or I don't like your boots. You know, and I had a girl tell me that one time. I was like, I don't like your boots. And she said it like that too. I don't like your boots. I'm like, really? Why? And she was like, they're just too pointy. I'm like, well, all boots are pointy, sweetie. You know, and I ended up dating that girl, by the way, and that girl actually became my girlfriend for a while. But that's originally how I met that chick, and she was, you know, she's super cute. And we ended up having a great time together, and then I ended up being the one who dumped her. Funny enough, but we're still friends. So that's just a very, very simple example of an opportunity that could have easily been blown, which most guys would have blown. Right? Most guys would have blew that with the girls like, I don't like your shoes. I don't like boots. What are you doing wearing boots in the club? Where the girl's just testing, and you have to understand that she's doing that because she's attracted to you. And she wants to make sure that you're that guy, that badass guy who has the balls to wear over-the-top clothing that most people don't have the balls to wear. All right? So that is the sixth question you're going to get. The seventh question you're going to get, and this is very common as well, is what nationality are you? What nationality? What ethnicity are you? So when the girl asks you this, again, I go back to my playful mode and I'm like, I can't tell you. She'd be like, why? It's a secret. So if the girl asks you, what's your nationality? Don't just like bust out, I'm Mexican American and I'm proud. Screw Trump. You know, start taking yourself way too seriously. Instead, you just want to play with her. Right? Just want to play with her and be like, I can't tell you. It's a secret. I can tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. You don't want to know. And just leave it at that. And a lot of times too, I'll never even actually answer this question. I mean, I'll just continue playing with her. I'm like, guess. She's like, I don't know. Are you Cuban? You know, and I'm like, no. Guess again. You know, I'll just keep making her guess, and I'll never actually even tell her. Okay, now the eighth question, most frequently asked question you'll get, and this kind of involves your wingman, and you kind of open her and her girlfriend, and you've got kind of a two-set going, where it's you and your wingman and her girlfriend. A lot of times, they will ask you, how did you guys meet? Right? How do you guys meet? How do you guys know each other? And generally, I just like to play with this question again. When the girl asks, how did you guys meet? I'll be like, hey, we met on Match.com, or we met on eHarmony, or we met on Tinder, or we met on Bumble. I swiped right, baby. Swipe right. Here he is. Again, I just want to play with her. And obviously, she will know you're kidding. Okay, now the ninth most frequently asked question you're going to get. Now, this is in referral to gambits, which is something we used to do in the old pickup days, and sometimes I still do it, you know, just because it's fun. We used to do like palm reads, we used to do cold mind readings where we would convince the girl that we were able to read her mind. We do little mind tricks on her, like guess a number between 1 and 4 now. And then she'd be like, okay, I've got it. And then you'd look at her like, okay, hold it, girl, hold it. All right, look me in the eyes. Are you ready? She's like, yeah. 3. And then the girl would be like, oh! You know, 9 out of 10 times she would choose 3 because of the way I did it. Like, choose a number between 1, look at my hands, 1 and 4 now. And then notice I snap at 3, okay? Kind of like where the 3 would be. So mentally, she's gonna guess 3, 9 out of 10 times. Or at least most of the time it's gonna be 3. You know, a lot of these crazy girls will be like, 1, 0, you know, and totally ruin it. But a lot of times it will work, and the girl like, oh, how did you do that? You'd be like, hold on, let's raise the stakes. I'll do it again. All right, ready? She's like, yeah. All right, I want you to guess a number between 1 and 10 now. And she'll be like, okay, I've got it. And you'll be like, 7. Whoa! You know, because again, 1 through 10 now. And I'm kind of snapping at the 7. And a lot of people just instinctively will choose the number 7, but I'm reinforcing it by going 1 through 10 and then doing the snap at the 7. 7. Okay? And then that way the girl will be like, oh, how did you do that? So a lot of times the girl will ask like, how do you do that? How do you know this stuff? And then you can tell her, I read a lot of books. I travel the world. I do lots of research. I explore humanity. You know, you could just kind of make yourself seem a little bit more mystical than you actually are. And the girl will kind of like, oh, especially if she's one of those types where she's into astrology and horoscopes, this stuff will work like magic on her. Okay, and I can usually tell when I get those kind of earthy types that are, you know, a little hippie-ish and they're into a lot of this mystical stuff. I will do palm reads on them. I'll do these cold readings. You might see in some of my Infield videos where I can sense if the girl has a sibling, especially a brother. I can sense that immediately, because you'll notice this too after you do enough approaches, that girls who are cooler, who don't try to destroy you, who aren't mean-spirited, girls who are just a little bit more empathetic towards your approach and the fact that you're having the balls to approach her, girls who are actually cool about it and nice to you, girls like that, 99% of the time had brothers, grew up with brothers, grew up around brothers, or had at least one brother, and she sympathizes with you because her brother is going through the same thing. You know, generally her brother will be around the same age as she is, and he's going through the same thing. Like, he's just trying to build his confidence, and you know, she doesn't want to be one of those girls that is shutting guys down, because she doesn't want girls out there shutting down her brother. So she's going to have more empathy for you. So when I approach a girl like that, I can generally tell that, you know, she's had a brother, and I can kind of call her out on that. And a lot of times the girl's like, oh, how do you know this stuff? Oh my gosh, that's so cool. The 10th and final, most frequently asked question you're going to get is, what are you doing here tonight? A lot of times a girl will just throw this out there, like, well, what are you doing here tonight? And I don't know why they like to ask this question. Like, what do they want you to say? Oh, I came to meet you. And sometimes I will say that just to tease them, like, I came for you, girl. I knew you would be here tonight. It was serendipity that we're both here. I knew you'd be here. You know, and again, if you're doing it playfully, she'll laugh, she'll get a laugh out of it, and ha 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 ha, it'll build attraction. All right, so that's a 10th and most frequent question you'll also get is, what are you doing here tonight? You know, some other answers you could give her: doing social experiments, girl. Out here doing social experiments. Like, what kind of social experiments? Picking up girls. Just again, joke about it. Don't take yourself so seriously. Or you could tell her, I'm just out here meeting new people. Okay? That's what I'm doing. Meet new people. I'm exploring humanity because it's beautiful. Another answer you could give her: I'm out here with my wingman. We decided to come out and piss off our girlfriends. We left them at home, and now we're here picking up girls because we're pissed off at them. And obviously, say that jokingly, because you don't want the chick to be like, what kind of boyfriend are you? And start shaming you. Another answer you could give her: hey, I'm just looking for cool new people to hang out with that don't mind us having girlfriends. All right, and I will generally say that to a girl if she is 9.5 to a 10. Like, if she's like super hot, I'm generally going to say something like that. Like, she's like, well, what are you doing here tonight? I'm just looking for more cool new people to hang out with that don't mind the fact that I have a girlfriend. And then she'll be like, oh, that's refreshing, because a lot of guys will lie even if they do have a girlfriend. They're like, I'm single, girl. Or a lot of guys will just try to make themselves a little bit too available. So by telling a girl that, hey, you're just looking for cool new friends to hang out with, and you've already got a girl at home, you are pretty much disqualifying yourself as a suitor, which is very, very powerful for attracting these girls, right? Disqualifying yourself. So that is something I will say to a girl who's a perfect 10 or close to that, who will ask me that question, like, hey, what are you doing here tonight? Like, hey, I'm just looking for some cool new people to hang out with, meet some cool new people that doesn't mind the fact that I've got a girlfriend. Those are the top 10 most frequently asked questions you're going to get while you're in field. Those are the answers that I personally like to use, and trust me, they do work, so you don't need to reinvent the wheel here. Now, just some personal tips of mine that I want to give you about these about your answers for these questions that you're going to get from your targets. Again, you want to keep your answers short and brief. You don't want to kind of go into this diatribe or anything like that. You don't want to go into anything that's too complex, any long-winded stories. Just keep it brief and short. You want to keep your answers playful, light, and fun, like I said. Just want to keep that nice, happy, fun vibe going because, you know, chances are she probably had a long day and she's finally out at this venue. She just wants to have fun and she doesn't want to be so serious. Whenever you're talking to any of these girls, you just want to keep the tempo and the vibe positive and upbeat, okay? You don't want to be all like dreary and down and, you know, bringing her down with you. You just want to stay positive and upbeat. You know, there are days where I'm not feeling the best, or I might be sick or under the weather. Things might not be going my way and I'm not in the best mood, but I will just go with it, but I'll still find little areas during our conversation where the girl could see like, hey, yeah, this guy's probably not in the best mood right now, but I could see he has a sense of humor. He doesn't take himself too seriously. You want to stay in control, okay? You want to stay in control of your conversation. So you don't want to let her take over, right? When she's asking these questions, don't let her take the lead and like just suddenly take over your entire conversation because that's no good. You want to be controlling the frame at all times. When she's asking you these questions, again, don't just give her the answers, guys. You want to make her work for your answers. So like when she asks how old you are, don't just be like, I'm 22. No, instead, say guess, guess. She'll be like, I don't know, 26? Like, no. Right, notice how I play with her. I'm like, no. I'm shaking my head, yes, but no, you're wrong. And then make her guess again. Because when you're making her guess like that and she's like thinking and she's trying to look at you and she's looking in your eyes and looking at how you dress and kind of just your overall character, subconsciously she's investing in you, okay? Because you're making her work for it. So the more you make her work for your answers, the more she's going to invest in you. I mean, the big thing with your answers is you want to suck her into your reality, okay, into your world, your fun, playful world, and you don't want to let her suck you into her reality, into her world, into her party, which is what she's able to do with most guys, because most guys are so desperate to get laid that they'll like do and say anything she wants, you know, thinking that she's going to reciprocate by having sex with him. And it doesn't work that way. That's not how attraction works. Attraction works by pulling the girl into your reality and not the other way around. She needs to know that you have an environment and a lifestyle that she would want to become a part of. Okay, so that's the most important takeaway.
So I hope you enjoyed tonight's special coaching video. Again, if you are not yet in my monthly coaching program, 7 Months of Mastery, then you want to get in my monthly coaching program like right now, ASAP. And it's only $1. It's still $1, guys. And it's $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons from me. And even what you learn in that very first month alone, you can take and go out there and start trying it out for yourself. I'm actually begging you to go out there and try it out for yourself because I really do want you to see that what I'm teaching does actually work on real life young beautiful women, 8s, 9s, and 10s. There is no reason at all that you should be sitting at home alone by yourself when you can have a young hot girl right by your side, when you could be dating a beautiful woman. There is no reason at all to be sitting at home watching internet porn all day. It doesn't have to be this way, okay? You don't have to live that kind of a pathetic life, okay? You could be out there dating these young beautiful women just as I have my entire adult life. And I'm still doing it today. To this very day, I'm still in the game. It's been over 2 decades and I can't leave the game because it's just become too easy for me. And I don't know how much longer I'm gonna teach it. As I keep saying, I'm going to be moving on to bigger, better things. I've got other business ventures that a lot of my students, a lot of my high profile students who have deep pockets are trying to pull me into. So I need to start focusing on that. But for you guys who are in my coaching program, I'm gonna continue to teach you guys. Okay, so if you get in my coaching program before I close the doors, I'm going to continue to teach you. Okay, but you have to get in before I close the doors. All right, I'm tired of pitching this. If you want to learn this stuff, you got to get in my coaching program. That's the only way to learn it, guys. There's only so much I can give away on my YouTube channel for free. In my monthly coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, I am giving away my absolute best secrets, my best tips, my best tricks, my best shortcuts, my best hacks for how to go out there and bring these young, beautiful women into your own life. Stop listening to your chump friends, all those, guys you work with, those guys at your gym who are trying to tell you how to pick up girls. Those guys do not know what they're talking about. The only person you should be listening to is somebody who's out there actually doing it. Somebody who's gone out there and has done it his entire adult life. Somebody like me. Okay, I've dated over 300 young, beautiful women now successfully, and I continue to do so. And now I am teaching my secrets to you. Okay, I'm teaching them to you. And in my program, Mastery, I'm going to be giving you, like I said, my best tips, tricks, secrets, shortcuts, and hacks for how to go out there and do it yourself. Okay, so you don't have to sit at home, come home to an empty apartment, come home to your cell phone that has no text on it, no calls from anybody, just some of your chump friends that you don't even like, that you don't even want to talk to, but you're so bored that you let these guys stay in your life. But believe me, once you start dating young, hot girls, once you bring at least just one beautiful woman into your life, you're gonna forget all about those chump friends of yours, and you're gonna want to do more with your life, okay? Because as I always say, beautiful women, they really do inspire you to become the best version of yourself that you could possibly be. Okay, I talked about this in the 33 Secrets, but beautiful women do actually inspire you to get healthier, to make more money, to create a better life for yourself. Don't keep living your life waiting for one of these girls to just fall into your lap or to make it easy for you. It just doesn't happen that way, guys. I wish it did, but it doesn't happen that way. You have to learn this stuff. You have to learn how to attract beautiful women into your life. Just women, period, if you've never had a girlfriend. But you have to learn how to attract beautiful girls into your life. And in order to do that, you need a set of skills. Okay, you need a set of skills and almost like a toolbox, like a pickup artist toolbox that you could use at your disposal anytime you see a young, beautiful woman that you actually want to approach. You'll be able to reach into your toolbox and pull out any number of secret tips, tricks, or techniques that you've learned in my program to pick that girl up successfully. There's nobody else out there who can teach you this stuff. And I'm telling you the truth, okay? And I hate to toot my own horn, but it's true. There's nobody else out there who can teach you this stuff except for a seasoned and experienced pickup artist. And if you see me dating the type of girls that you want to date yourself, then duh, you want to listen to me, right? Anybody who has the type of lifestyle that you desire, you want to listen to. Recently, I've been learning more and more about real estate, and I'm still a little bit green when it comes to it, but I look for guys, I look for mentors who have the type of properties that I would want to have myself. Guys who've been successful in real estate, successful acquiring the type of properties that I would want to have in my portfolio. And guess what? I start following those guys. I start listening to those guys. I start buying those guys' products because I want the type of properties that they have. I want to be able to accumulate the type of properties that they have and create the type of lifestyle for myself that they have, okay? So it's the same thing with pickup and dating advice. And by the way, a lot of the real estate guys that I listen to, they follow me too, and they come to me for dating advice, just like I go to them for real estate advice. See how that works? So if you are tired of sitting at home alone, coming home to an empty apartment, being forced to watch internet porn to get your rocks off because there's nobody in your phone that you could text to come over. There's nobody in your phone that you could call to come over, at least nobody that you want to come over, right? I want to help you change that, okay? I just want to teach you what I know. And what I know is jam-packed in my monthly coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery. I put all of my best tips, my best tricks, my best secrets, and my best techniques in my program, 7 Months to Mastery. Okay, it's all there. It's up to you to take action. Okay, nothing's for free. Right now it's only $1. Okay, so that's pretty close to free. It's as free as I can make it. Right now it's only $1, but it's really up to you to take action. Why keep living your life the way you are right now? Okay, obviously if you're watching these coaching videos, you're not satisfied. Why continue? Why continue doing this to yourself when you can actually learn this stuff and you can change your life? You can change your outcome. When you see that drop-dead gorgeous, stunning, beautiful woman walk by you, Wouldn't it be nice to know what to say to her? Wouldn't it be nice to have the confidence to approach her with that rock solid eye contact that I teach you guys in 7 months to mastery? Wouldn't it be nice to approach her with full confidence, rock solid eye contact, and be like, hey, hi, I saw you standing there. I thought you were gorgeous. What's your name? My name's Matt. Nice to meet you. My friends call me M. Who are you? What are you doing right now? I was about to go grab some coffee right now. There's a Starbucks about 2 blocks away. Take 2 minutes. Come with me. Let's go. Let's go. You're not going to regret it. Come with me. You're the man. You have to lead. Okay? But you have to know how to lead. You have to get experience leading. And really, you gain confidence from learning this stuff. The more you learn, the more confidence you'll have to be able to walk up to that drop-dead, gorgeous, beautiful, stunning woman, the dime piece, right? We call it a dime piece in the pickup community. Perfect 10, dime piece. You'll be able to walk up with to that girl, complete confidence, okay? Rock solid eye contact, no flinching, and complete seriousness. Be like, hey, who are you? My name's Matt. I saw you standing there. I thought you were gorgeous. I thought you were stunning. I wanted to meet you. What are you up to right now? Cool, where are you headed? All right, well, I'm going to Starbucks. It's about 2 blocks this way, okay? I'm gonna grab coffee. It's gonna take 2 minutes, and I want you to come with me. You walk up to a stunner like that, with that kind of confidence, you'll be shocked at the response you get. You'll be shocked at how fast she becomes attracted to you, because she's not used to that. Most beautiful women, let me tell you a secret, most beautiful women do not have guys approaching them like that. The guys that approach beautiful women that are like stunners, like drop-dead gorgeous perfect 10s, the guys that even work up the nerve to approach them are freaking shaking in their boots, okay? They're shaking with fear. Their eyes are dilating. They're like, oh my gosh, I just hope she approves of me, right? Because most guys who approach young, beautiful women, all they're trying to get is their approval and validation. Or when you approach her, you'll have full entitlement, like I do, like my students do. When we approach those drop-dead gorgeous women, those beautiful dime pieces, those perfect 10s, we're not there seeking her approval and validation. That's not even in our head. When we approach them, we are feeling fully entitled. We are feeling not approval, but sexual arousal. We are aroused by her. And you might think you're aroused by a 10, but I guarantee you're not. This is how you know you're entitled or not, okay? Because the girls that you feel entitled to, you automatically feel that instant sexual arousal for. And for most guys, hate to say it, the girl's usually about a 5 or 6. Girl's usually a 5 or 6. It's because they don't really have too much game. They don't really have too much pickup knowledge. But whose fault is that? Guys who are fully entitled to the perfect 10s, the 8s, 9s, and 10s, especially the 10s, right? We're talking about the dime pieces. The guys who feel entitled to them, instead of approaching them and feeling the need to gain their approval, instead of that, they're feeling fully entitled, okay? We're feeling fully entitled. We're feeling sexual arousal. We're imagining ourselves having sex with her as we're standing there talking to her. Just like most guys would when they're talking to a 5 or 6. They're standing there being like, hey, I'm better than this chick. I can picture myself having sex with her, and they're thinking of all the dirty things they're gonna do to her in their head. That's entitlement, okay? It's kind of a crass way of putting it, but that's entitlement, okay? When you walk up to a girl, either you are feeling entitled to her, or you're seeking her approval. That's it, period. Most guys who approach perfect 10s, they are not feeling entitled, okay? They are not feeling sexually aroused by her. They're not thinking of all the dirty things they want to do to her, okay? Instead, you know what they're thinking about? Getting her approval and validation. They just want her to approve of them so they feel like they're worthy of her. That's what happens when you don't have any training, you know? And I don't blame you guys. Nobody taught us this stuff. Nobody taught me this stuff, okay? But you guys are in a very, very unique and fortunate situation, because there was an invention about 15 years ago, probably longer than that actually, maybe 20 years ago now, called the internet. Okay, and then shortly after that, a platform arose from the ashes called YouTube. And nowadays, you can just get on YouTube and you can Google guys like me, you know, especially guys like me who are actually doing it, okay? Somebody who could teach you this stuff, so you can pack your own pickup artist toolbox with enough skills, techniques, tips, tricks, and strategies where you can also walk up to that drop-dead gorgeous woman, that perfect 10, and no longer feel like you need her approval or her validation, but instead feel entitlement, feel entitled to her, and feel that instant sexual arousal where you can picture yourself having sex with her. Okay, because again, the truth is, most guys, when they're talking to a drop-dead gorgeous woman, even if they're not even approaching her, just say that she's like their waitress or something, they're not feeling entitled to her. They're like, oh my God, this chick is so hot. You know, they're more or less like trying to act in a way that they feel that she would find accepting. And that's really what seeking somebody's approval and validation is. You're kind of trying to filter yourself and filter your personality and manage the impression of yourself so that you don't give off a bad impression of yourself to her because you're worried about what she might think of you, how she might view you. Why? Because you want her approval and validation. When I see those drop-dead gorgeous perfect 10s, those dime pieces, those model-looking women, I am not thinking about her. I care less about her approval and validation. She needs to seek mine. That's how I think about it. Okay, she needs to seek mine. If it's one of my students, she needs to seek their approval because we consider ourselves high-value males. We know we're high value, and you need to know you're high value too. And you need to stop seeking their approval. Okay, instead, you need to work on yourself. You need to gain these skills so you can build up your confidence so that when you are interacting with a perfect 10, a dime piece, instead of feeling like you need her approval and validation, you will feel that entitlement, okay? That instant entitlement, that instant sexual arousal. Don't waste the next 20 years of your life trying to figure this out for yourself, okay? I've already done it for you. I've been out in field over 2 decades now. I've gotten blown out hundreds of times. I've learned from those blowouts. I've approached tens of thousands of young, beautiful women. I've dated over 300 young, beautiful women successfully now. So I'm just giving you all of the tips, tricks, and strategies that actually work. I cut to the chase. There's no need to go philosophical about pickup like a lot of these top pickup guys are these days. You know, they're plugging a lot of these, you know, guys like Eckhart Tolle, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I grew up in the Haight. Okay, I grew up by Haight-Ashbury, and I saw plenty of these guys, plenty of these charlatans, and I'm not saying Eckhart Tolle is one of them, but he certainly looks like one to me. I don't know, there's something that I just don't gel with. It just reminds me a lot of these guys that I saw growing up on Haight-Ashbury kind of peddling their philosophies, and they're really just stealing excerpts from the Bible. You know, a lot of what Eckhart Tolle teaches, I mean, a lot of what he teaches are a lot of rip-offs from the scriptures, you know, for you guys who've actually gone to Sunday school and whatnot. I mean, I went to Catholic school my entire life, so I recognize a lot of what he's kind of twisted into his own philosophical teachings. You know, these top pickup guys are plugging guys like Tolle. You know, they're getting more into like the philosophical approach to pickup as opposed to the bare bones meat of pickup of what it takes to pick up a drop-dead gorgeous perfect 10. They're getting away from that, and they're just getting way too philosophical. You know, a lot of these guys too, they have like hour to 2 hour long videos that they constantly upload to YouTube. And the reason why they could talk endlessly like that is because, you know, and I could do that too. I choose not to do that. But what they're doing is a public speaking technique, which is called talking around the point versus actually getting to the point. Okay? So if I were to talk around the point, I could actually make a 2 to 3 hour video, coaching video, every time I upload to YouTube. But I really don't want to do that because you guys won't even watch the whole thing. You won't end up going out there applying any of my techniques because they'll be buried in this 3 hour coaching video. And I don't want to do that to you. And I don't want to take you through a philosophical lecture just when you're here to learn how to attract women into your life. Okay, we don't need to get into philosophies of it because pickup is very simple, it's straightforward. There's really not too much philosophy to it. It's more or less based on female biology and female psychology. That is really what I'm teaching you. But not textbook theory, but applicable theory that you can use out there to bring these girls into your life. Make sense? All right, so let's wrap this up. If you've not yet jumped into my monthly coaching program, 7 months of mastery, then you want to do that right now, just click the link below in my description box. It'll take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now for just $1, right? It's still only $1, so don't miss out, okay? Please don't miss out on this. take advantage of it while it's still here, okay? Before it goes away, okay? Before I close the doors. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna do this, guys. I mean, I'm always gonna do pickup myself, but as far as teaching it, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna do this, okay? Personally for me, I'd love to keep teaching pickup till I'm dead, all right? I don't know what tomorrow holds, but right now I'm still teaching it. I'm still in the game. I'm at my prime in the game right now, okay? I'm at my peak right now, and I'm giving you all of my best ideas fresh from the field, okay? I'm still out there in field. I'm giving you all of my best tips, tricks, and ideas and strategies fresh from the field so you can go out there and try them out for yourself. And you can see for yourself that what I'm teaching you actually does work, and they'll help you, bring that bomb-ass girl into your life. Any of these girls that you haven't been able to get previously, you'll be able to go back and actually attract them into your life, okay? And I've been able to do that too. I've been able to go back into my past. Anybody I wasn't able to get before, I went right back into my past, and I found them, and I attracted them into my life, and I finally closed them, okay? And I want the same for you. This is M from the 33 Secrets, signing out from Universal Studios in Hollywood. Beautiful night. You could be here with your date, with your new girlfriend if you just learned this stuff. You'd be looking at this fountain together with all these families over here. Could be you if you learn this stuff. Until next time.